Welcome back to Hannah's Harvest. Today we're talking all things seeds. I'm going to give you some information about seeds, some tips that have helped me, and then I'm going to take you through my beloved seed collection. So when I was a beginning gardener about 4 years ago, I started all of my plants from started plants at the store. I bought my tomatoes, my peppers, all of my vegetables and flowers at the store, and the cost was really high and I felt limited on what I could grow. But I was nervous to start things from seed because I thought that buying seeds meant that I had to start everything inside, and I didn't have a grow light or seed tray or setup. So I just limited myself to what was at the store and my small budget, and for the first couple years I was happy with that. As I started to do more research, I learned that starting plants from seeds can give you so much variety and excitement in the garden. And I realized that a lot of seeds don't need to be started inside. In fact, I would say most things can be sown directly into the soil. Now I only start my peppers and tomatoes ahead of time in the winter because it gives me an earlier start. Everything else, my beans, cucumbers, squash, zinnias, marigolds, I start all of that direct seeded into the garden. And it's made it a lot easier for me to have varieties that I want to grow. So the first question I want to help you answer is, why start from seed? Well, as I mentioned, the cost is a big factor. Buying plants as seeds can help you to grow so many more plants at a much cheaper cost. Another factor is the varieties that you can grow. If you're willing to start from seed, you can grow all kinds of things that aren't already started at the store. Another question I had as a beginning gardener is where to buy seeds. And an easy way to start with buying seeds is to go to your local garden center and buy the seeds that they provide. You can bet that if they're providing them in your area, that it'll be varieties that will grow well in your climate and your temperatures. You can also look online. There are several great online seed companies that have good shipping rates, and looking online is a good way to compare lots of different varieties. I also find that a lot of websites have more information about the variety, including information like areas it'll grow well, temperatures and humidity levels that it likes, that you might find helpful. I also find it helpful to look online because I can compare hundreds of varieties and narrow down to exactly what I want to grow. I've found I have the most success buying seeds that are grown and sold as close to me as I can find. Things that are close to Arkansas, for example, Baker Creek in Mansfield, Missouri. It's only a couple hours away from me, and so I know that if they're trialing and successfully growing plants in their area, they're close enough to me, I can bet that I'll have success as well. Another question I had that was really daunting was, how do I know what variety to choose? And something that really helped me was looking at my local university. Their agriculture department had a list of tested seeds and some research they had done on seeds and varieties in our area. And I used that list to help me decide on tomatoes and pepper varieties that I thought I could be successful with. Another area to ask is your extension office or a local garden center. They often have tips and ideas on what grows well in your area. I also look online for keywords. I know that Arkansas is both hot and humid in the summer, and so I look for varieties that can tolerate humidity and heat. One question with buying seeds is whether or not you want to grow organic. That's a personal preference, completely up to you. If you're wanting to grow organic, you'll want to look for seeds that have the organic label on the package. If you're going to use organic growing practices, you're going to be most successful with organic seeds because they've been grown organically from the beginning. They will have better pest and disease resistance using organic practices because that's how they're grown to begin with. If you decide to grow non-organic seeds, that is totally fine, but be prepared to have to use pest and disease prevention. Another term that's commonly associated with seeds is heirloom or not. And an heirloom variety means that it has been around for 100 or more years. So it's a tried and true tested variety that has been passed down through generations. You don't have to buy heirlooms to have organic seed, but a benefit of heirlooms is the variety of colors, especially with things like tomatoes and peppers. You might find fun varieties that you can't get at the store looking for heirloom seeds. If you decide not to buy heirloom, you'll want to look for seeds that are open pollinated. This means that if you get good at saving seeds, you can save your own seeds and expect to grow the exact same thing when you plant your seeds the next year. If varieties are new and they're not open pollinated yet, and you save the seed, for example, if you save a pepper seed that is not open pollinated, you'll still grow a pepper, but it will have several different characteristics. It won't be exactly the same. So heirloom varieties and open pollinated are both things that you can save the seed and have confidence you can grow the exact same thing from the seed next year. When you're buying seeds, it can be really easy to get sucked into the beautiful colors and varieties and buy way more than you need. Something that has really helped me is having a seed inventory. I have all my seeds organized and I have a list of exactly what I have and what I'm hoping to buy. That way, it keeps me in check from buying just things that look pretty or things that I want. I have a set amount of space to store my seeds and a set amount of varieties that I can hold in that space. So until I use up what I have, I won't be buying anything new. Now let's talk about my favorite way to store seeds. This is a photo organizer that I got from Walmart. It's also on Amazon and I can link it down below. And what I've done is take my photo organizer. I used my Cricut to make labels for each section, and I have all of my seeds organized, easy to find. That way when I'm ready to plant, I just have to open them up and I can get started. Something else I like about this system is it keeps my seeds dry and it's fairly weatherproof. I know my seeds will be safe and last year after year. If you want to use seeds that are old from a previous year, you can totally do that with success if you keep your seeds dry, cool, and out of the sunlight. So I like to keep my seeds in a closet because I know it'll keep them away from the sun and fluctuating temperatures. Let me give you a close-up look at my seed collection and the seeds I have right now. Here is what my seed collection looks like, and I made labels that made sense for the seeds I had at the time. If I decide I need to change the labels I have, I can peel them off and remake them no problem. So I have my seeds organized alphabetically, starting with annuals, and when I wrote annuals, I mean annual flowers, flowers that are just for one season. In this category, I have Sugar Stars phlox, red hollyhocks, a pink Cosmo blend, African daisies, gaillardia, red Mexican hat, Flemish antique poppies, double champagne hollyhocks, and Sissinghurst white poppies. Next, we have the beans and peas category. These are purple hyacinth beans. I have my Clemson spineless okra that, as you can see, is spilling a little bit, but that's okay because since it's in this container, I know exactly what it is. I also have Cherokee black beans, Kentucky wonder beans, and spring blush peas. Next, I have cucumbers, and I also have corn in this section. Since they both start with C, it made sense to me to stick them together. I have sweet butter gold corn, cucamelons, Armenian cucumbers, the Bait Alpha cucumber, and National Pickling cucumber. Next is the flowers section, and these are garden flowers that I like to interplant with vegetables. I recently saved several packs of Sunspot Dwarf sunflowers, and I also have the original container. These are Alaska variegated nasturtiums. I have some willow-leaved sunflowers, Thunbergia, Tip-Top Alaskan salmon nasturtium, and baby's breath. In the herbs category, I have cilantro, chives, lemon basil, cinnamon basil, Genovese basil, and I actually have 2 of those packets, 3 of those packets. It's my favorite, as you can tell. I also have blue spice basil, English lavender, bouquet dill. This came with my green stalk. It's an ornament that if you plant, it grows different types of herbs. I can't decide if it's something I want to give as a gift or plant maybe in a pot all on its own, so I'm just keeping it with my seeds for now. Next, the leafy greens. I have bok choy, red acre cabbage, Copenhagen market cabbage, Lola Rosa leaf lettuce, Freckles romaine lettuce, and a slow bolt arugula. I also have this huge pack of kale that is too big to fit in my seed collection, obviously, so I have that stored in another location. Then marigolds. Marigolds are my favorite garden flower, and I dedicated a space all to themselves because I like to save seeds. My favorite is Happy Days mix, and I save hundreds, if not thousands, every year. I also have Kilimanjaro white. Next are peppers, and I have eggplants in here as well because they're in the same family and they're very closely related. So I have a long purple eggplant, shishito pepper, which I've been waiting for a long time to get my hands on these seeds, so I'm excited to have them. I also have some seeds I've saved from Buena Mulata. I have gypsy sweet peppers, blazing banana hybrid, and I also have an early jalapeno variety. Next, I have perennial flowers. I saved seeds from a heuchera that I had bought at the store. I haven't planted these, so I don't know if they're fertile, but I'm hoping to plant them soon. I also have yarrow, which is perennial. That means if I plant it once, it'll come back year after year here in Arkansas. Pumpkins and melons. I have Minnesota midget cantaloupe, sugar pie pumpkin. These are a birdhouse gourd. It's a seed that my grandpa gave me. I have a mini harvest blend pumpkin, winter squash butterbush, and a winter squash blend. The next category we have are sprouts. And if something is marketed as a sprout, you can grow it for sprouts or you can grow it out. So broccoli sprouts are really just broccoli seeds. They're just harvested when they're young. So I can make that decision if I want to grow broccoli with these or eat them as sprouts. And I also have alfalfa sprouts. Squash. I have gray zucchini, butternut squash, summer butterstick, and here's the original package for those. tomatoes, I have Orange Hat, Mortgage Lifter, Aunt Molly's Ground Cherry, Cherokee Purple, Blueberries, Juliet Hybrid, Dr. Witchy's, Brandywine Pink, Early Girl, San Marzano, Pineapple Tomatillo, and Triple Crop Tomato. And my last section of seeds is zinnias. I have Salmon, Isabellina, Garden Mix. This is just a mix of seeds I saved from last year, and I didn't work hard to prevent cross-pollination, so it'll be kind of a mixed bag when I plant it. Several different colors of zinnias. I also have Giants of California, Semi-Dwarf, Early Bird, Giant Cactus Mix, and Luminosa Pink. I like to save the seed pack even when I've run out of the seed because it's a good reminder to me to either order more or take that off my list to grow. This last section is some tools that I use for saving seeds and planting. I have my seed saving envelopes that I'll link in the description box. These are plastic plant tags, and I like to use Sharpies to write on those and on my seed saving bags. Well, I hope you're inspired to organize your seed collection, maybe buy some new seeds. In the description, I'll link some details for the products that I mentioned, as well as some of my favorite places to buy seeds online. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.